You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is.
Perfect.
AEW Dynamite last night took place in Albany, New York City. We got Grand Slam next week. And we have now found out who will be main eventing Grand Slam. Let us discuss. But before we do, check out my socials. Follow me, RJD 199 on Snapchat, RJD_199 on Instagram, RJ699 on Twitter. But most importantly, follow What's the Wrestling on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. We are over 100 listens, baby. Listen, I don't care if I'm at 100, 500, 1,000. I'm over 100 listens on Anchor. And listen, for a baby channel like mine, I don't care. That to me is a nice little milestone. Now on to 1,000. We celebrated, now we move on. But I don't care, I'm hype about it. Sue me. Let's go! Yes. His I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. Man, we had ourselves a good old-fashioned Dynamite last night. I cannot sit here and cap or complain. Dynamite was good. Had some stuff that I was like, don't understand that.
Stop it.
But at the same time, we had some stuff that was great. So we're not going to waste any time. This is probably going to be a short review because it was a real straightforward show. But before anything, hit the like button, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are only at 15 subs on YouTube. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing out here? Y'all listen to me all the time. Y'all listen to me every day. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, man. Facebook, we are we are working towards 500 followers. We know you wrestling fans are out there, all right? So stop acting like you ain't out there. And subscribe to the channel. Anchor, we're over 100 listens. So let's keep that ball rolling. Back to the show. That was the wrong button, but it doesn't matter. AEW. We started off with Mr. MOX versus Sammy Guevara, the Spanish God. We had ourselves, this was a very good match. Sammy Guevara, athletic as hell. But Jon Moxley bringing the brute force and violence. But the end came where Anna took the referee and Anna Jay took the referee and distracted the ref. I think it was Knox, but I'm not sure. Distracted the ref, and Ty Mello comes in and kicks Moxley right in the huevos. Disrespectful. But Guevara got the roll up only for a 2 count. Guevara then missed the senton atomico, and Lord Regal Lord Regal said, would he get canceled if he calls Tay and Anna Harold's? Now, I'm sure that's I don't know if that's an English term or not, but I'm sure it's not good.
You activated my trap card.
So, after that, Moxley fights back, going up for the go to hell, but he reverses it into the Death Rider for the victory. Fun opener. Moxley brings the violence, and Moxley will be going on to face who next week at Grand Slam? We're about to find out later on. Excalibur said that MJF was causing a scene backstage and demanded a microphone.
Perfect.
Anytime MJF demands a microphone, you give that brother a microphone. So MJF's music hits and he storms to the ring and he cuts a promo on Jon Moxley. Now he did mention Danielson and Jericho, but this was a promo on Jon Moxley. And you know what?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Thank you, MJF. You might have just ruined the goddamn outcome of next week. Me personally, I would rather Bryan Danielson win because we've already seen Moxley win twice. I know he's the heart and the soul, blah, 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 blah. I understand he is the MVP of this interim championship bullshit for the summer, but make no mistake, I would like Bryan Danielson to win, but I guess if Danielson's going to win just to lose to MJF in a day or a month or whatever, then I guess it can't hurt if Mox wins, and they've already set that up. So looks like we know who's going to win next week. So he said he knows Moxley is a scared little boy deep down and drowning out his troubles in alcohol like a drunk. He also warned Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson, saying bad things happen when they get in the way of MJF. So stay away from Grand Slam. Take the night off. Do not come. Because MJF said when Moxley came back from rehab, from beating his demons, he said he said that legit took intestinal fortitude, but he doesn't realize that there's one demon that he can't beat, and he said, I am that demon. MJF then brought out, he said, down, let's get down to business. And I was like, what the hell is this? So before he skedaddled, he said, I want to bring out my friend since I've known since the age of 19, Stokely Hathaway, and he said the Firm on retainer or some shit. So he brings out the Firm, and Hathaway begins to big up all the henchmen. He says, W. Morrissey, he loves them. W. Morrissey just standing there looking like a 7-foot big brute. Then we had Lee Moriarty. He wants the Pure Championship from Ring of Honor. The Ass Boys. He said they're not boys, they're grown-ass men. So the men said, ass men. Instead of ass boys, they called them ass men.
Emotional damage.
They look like they were having emotional damage. Hilarious. Then he said Ethan Page, who got the biggest reaction out of everybody, which was great to see, because Ethan Page is definitely somebody who is underutilized in AEW.
You stupid.
He doesn't need a mouthpiece.
You stupid.
He's charismatic as hell, and he could do it all on his own. All he needs is the platform and to be pushed. And hopefully he has gold in his future, because I think they could really, really use somebody like Ethan Page if they're looking for a good, badass heel that the fans will be into. And him can walk. So this was Not gonna lie, this segment went on a little bit longer than I would have liked. Maybe 2 minutes too long, but Stokely Hathaway was long-winded, but that's okay. It was still a good segment, so we're not gonna sit here and get mad at it. Jungle Boy came out and had an open challenge. Jay Lethal opened the challenge, and he beat Jay Lethal with the snare trap, if I'm not mistaken. Then we got a video of Hook and Action Bronson training for Queens next week. Have no idea what that means, but they both look badass training, and we'll see them with Mike and Angelo next week. Great. Alex Marvez was backstage, said he couldn't wait for Grand Slam, but he introduced the Big Apple Pizza premier maker and wrestler, Luigi Primo. Now this dude, first of all, this dude has been making the rounds on TikTok. Great to see him on AEW TV, even if it was only for about 15 seconds. I don't care. Glad to see him get some TV time, because just by people seeing him, they're going to be like, what the hell is that, a pizza wrestler? And they're going to Google him or TikTok him or Instagram him or something. So shout out to that guy. That was awesome, because I've been seeing him on TikTok a lot. But Ethan Page quickly booted him in the face. The pie went everywhere. And Danhausen, who got a huge pop, interrupted Ethan Page. So we will have Danhausen and Ethan Page next week. Oh, I think on Rampage, if I'm not mistaken. So, cool. Darby Allin was at the Nitro Circus. Shout out to all my X Games lovers. We love the X Games. We love the X Games. So they had the Nitro Circus. And Matt Hart, and he backflipped the tricycle, which was pretty dope. Darby Allin's a madman. I mean that with all due respect. All due respect. Matt Hardy basically was talking junk and then said, I want to fight you because you've had great fights with Jeff, and I want to fight you now. The return of Matt Hardy. Delete. He's back on Rampage. Nothing wrong there. Moving on. Powerhouse squashed Matt DiMartino. He got beat up really quick. After the match, Hobbs took the mic and said he beat Ricky Starks in only 4 minutes. Didn't know it was that quick. But Ricky Starks basically said, I'm coming down to the ring. He came down to the ring, threw a couple punches, huge babyface reaction, hit Powerhouse in the mouth, busted his lip. Great stuff here. Nothing wrong. Then Death Triangle recorded a promo saying that it's time that they go and regain their AEW Tag Team titles. Then we had Swerve in Our Glory versus the Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix and El Penta Cero Miedo. And this was one hell of a match. We had a Canadian Destroyer on Keith Lee from Penta off of Phoenix.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I've never seen Keith Lee get hit with a Canadian Destroyer, but it looked awesome. Go check out the clip. It was dope. And to Rey Fenix and Penta,
Stop it. Get some help.
you guys are awesome. So they hit a Spanish fly off the top to Swerve. Then from that, Penta hit the Canadian Destroyer for a 2 count. Swerve Strickland shoved Phoenix off the top rope and hit the floor. Lee hit a ground zero for the Big Bang Catastrophe for the win. These guys only got 9 minutes.
You stupid. Stop the cap.
We got to run this back. But we got to run it back to where it makes sense. Because these guys, give them 20 minutes. Woo! Take my money. We also had The Acclaimed come out, and there was no rap. Yo, listen, there was no rap, but The Acclaimed basically said, Swerve, if you ever interrupt my rap again, I'm gonna kick your ass. And then he said, being that you keep nut hugging every celebrity you see, come bring those tag titles to Grand Slam and we're gonna whip your ass. And then Bowen said, because everybody loves The Acclaim. Now, scissor me, daddy ass. I cannot wait. If we don't get a title change in Grand Slam, if the Acclaim loses, we riot. God damn it.
How dare you?
They better win because they setting them brothers up nicely. So we had the Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD with Serena Deeb versus Toni Storm and Athena because Hikaru Shida got beat up. So the Doctor and Serena Deeb with Rebel got the win here. They came when Serena Deeb put a chair. Oh no, Britt Baker put a chair onto the apron. Ref was distracted by Rebel. They whiplashed Toni Storm into it head first. She kind of fell backwards and got pinned by Serena Deeb. Don't like the fact that they pinned the champion. Don't like that. But
Stupid.
it was a good match. So AEW Rampage, we got Samoa Joe versus Josh Woods with Mark Sterling in his corner for the television title. Ethan Page versus Danhausen. Penelope Ford versus Willow Nightingale. Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin. And for Dynamite Grand Slam, we got Jon Moxley versus the winner I'm about to tell you. We got Swerve and Our Glory versus the Acclaim. We got Toni Storm versus the Doctor. Britt Baker versus Athena versus Serena Deeb for the interim women's title. We got Pac, the Bastard, versus Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic title. And we got a Hook versus Action Bronson on AEW Rampage Grand Slam. I'm sure they're going to add more matches to that because Grand Slam will probably be taped after Dynamite. So, I mean, Rampage will probably be taped after Grand Slam Dynamite. So, we got Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. The winner is Bryan Danielson. And you know what? I like this. We got Blackpool Combat Club versus Blackpool Combat Club. And they had a better match. They had a better match than their pay-per-view match. But any combination between these two and Mox, they're going to have a good match. Great storytellers. The end came when Bryan Danielson he tried to do a dive, but he missed, landed on his feet, and was nursing his ankle for the rest of the match. Chris Jericho said, "Let's go. Now I have a body part to attack." So he attacked his leg, took off his shoe, put him in the Bret Hart sharpshooter on the pole. That was great. Love to see that. That brings me back to when I was a youngin' watching Bret Hart. But we had that spot, and then we had. So after all of that, we had a part in the match where Jericho was elbowing Bryan Danielson, but they were so weak. Danielson was just taking the blows and no selling it. And then he proceeded to chop the hell out of Jericho. So Jericho hit him with a code breaker. But after the code breaker, he responded with a Busaiku knee. There were more chops on the apron. Jericho suplexed Danielson onto the floor. Danielson clutched his ankle. Aubrey called for the Doctor. Jericho didn't care. Threw him aside. That's when he put the figure 4 on him on the apron. He ended up putting him in the walls of Jericho a little bit later after he missed the Busaiku knee. Jericho transitioned into a heel hook with a spinning toe hold, which Danielson kicked out of. Tried to get a roll up, kicked out. Jericho locked on a figure 4. Both men started struggling. Danielson escaped into the belt lock. Jericho fought through it, could not get to the ropes. He teased it. But eventually he had to tap out. And that was all she wrote for Mr. Jericho. This was a very good match with a very good ending. Dynamite was good. I'm glad to see Toni Storm on TV as the women's champion. Sucks that she lost, but at least we're seeing more of her. We're seeing a little bit less of Jade, but we need that team. We need Wardlow. We need Toni Storm. And we need those two on mostly every episode of Dynamite, either wrestling in some capacity or doing something meaningful to push a story. Too many times, AEW forgets about the TNT title. And too many times they forget about the women's division as a whole. So we need to get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
And we need to make sure those ladies and Wardlow get the time they deserve with meaningful challengers and meaningful stories. That TNT title, think about where it was when Brody had it, when Cody had it. Think about where that thing was. Think about where it is now. Disgusting. So we got to work on that, TK. But all in all, a good episode of Dynamite. Looking forward to Grand Slam next week. It's too bad I will not be in the building, but the Prudential Center, Full Gear, RJD, and some of the boys, we are looking to be there and have a lot of fun. So with that being said, I'm out of here. Everybody, enjoy the day. Be safe. Y'all know what time it is. We're still getting 80 and 90 degree weather. Summer is holding on, and I love it. So with that being said, don't forget to hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Check out my socials one more time because I am out. Peace.